Eli and Justin Herbert, two impressive guys.
Appreciate it. I agree.
And the first thing they said is you've completely changed the way business is done. You've brought the team closer together. When you got to Oregon, or when you got the head coaching job at Oregon, I should say, what were your immediate needs? What did you see that you had to do right away?
One is kind of what those guys have said is bring the team together. I think whenever you have a down year, any program out there, a lot of it is the players aren't together. And I wanted to make sure that our guys like and cared for each other, loved each other. And I didn't sense that coming here. Talking to some of the guys, that's how they felt about each other. So that was really important to create that culture, and not just with our players, coaches as well.
Yep.
And that was going to be important. And I think when our guys learn that the way they play is like a gift to their teammates, that's when we're going to have something special. And so trying to build that culture and getting those guys around each other as much as we could was really important to us.
How important is it for you? Your career is interesting to me. I was reading about you this morning, and obviously Western Kentucky, but you were at Stanford, and you're obviously, as a black head coach, you're at Oregon, and that's a big job. And a lot of people have talked about minority jobs in head coaching, and I think the way you came up, small programs, big programs, South Florida, now at Oregon. What does it mean to you to be the head coach at Oregon, especially in terms of being a black head coach at Oregon?
I don't necessarily look at it as just being a black head coach, because every head coaching job I've had, I was the first black head coach. So, pretty much anywhere I was going to go, there was a good chance I was going to be the first.
Is that a problem?
No, not to me. But to me, it's just do a good job. I'm being excited. You got an opportunity to be at a prestigious university like the University of Oregon, and it's something that I always strive to do, is to get to this level and to get to a program like Oregon. So I'm excited about the challenges and the opportunity, and look forward to taking advantage of the opportunity that we have in front of us.
How did you know you were ready for a job like South Florida? Let's say. I mean, you obviously you spent time. You have pretty much done everything you could do in college football, but when you got to South Florida, what did you change at all? What did you learn in that job?
Well, you learned that it was different than Western Kentucky, And,
yeah, it was.
And again, then you have to just learn. Going to Western, I was very familiar with the administration and the community. Going to Tampa, I was familiar with the community, not necessarily the administration. I grew up in the Tampa Bay area, so I knew the area. I didn't necessarily know Tampa like that, but I knew the area. So there was a lot of learning there, but I had been recruiting down there, so you had relationships that you built. Throughout my years being an assistant coach, which helped when it comes to recruiting, and I think we all know that I don't care where you're at, there's no program turning around without good players.
No.
And so we was able to put together a good staff and go out and recruit and get some good players there. And once we got some good players there, things took off for us, And we went to South Florida running the West Coast offense, and things wasn't working right. We didn't have all the pieces. We had to recruit, get players, and then develop them. And then we decided to go spread with the guys we had. It made a world of difference for us. It kind of changed the game for us. And it really helped us tremendously.
Talking to Willie Taggart from Oregon on the Monty Show, brought to you by Herman Solar. So the phone rings, and Oregon's on the other end.
Well, it's my agent first.
Okay, the phone rings, and your agent's on the other end.
Yes. Yes.
And he says, hey, Oregon wants to talk, or whatever he says.
Yes.
How did that hit you? What was the impact on you? Because Oregon's I don't know if you know this, Oregon's a pretty big job.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a big deal.
I was excited, because again, you work your tail off to get to a position where you can be in a program like the University of Oregon. Again, worked my way up with shortcuts, and got to a position where things you were wanting is something I always wanted. I wanted to be in a program where you're going to have a chance to win a national championship. And you look at Oregon, in the last 8 years, they were in the game at least twice. So there's some recent tradition that shows that they can do it. And they have the resources, they have a passionate fan base, they have the expectation that you need in order to win a championship. So To me, it was a no-brainer. It was something, again, you always wanted, and it's right there in front of you. Now you got to go knock the interview out and get the job. You know?
Exactly right. Get it done. You talk about resources. What are the resources like? What are the advantages of being in the Pac-12, but being in the Pac-12 at Oregon?
You have everything you want. There's nothing there that we don't have, that we need to win. Whether it's facilities or
Nothing.
I can't think. I mean, it's nothing. I mean, again, you have it all. And to me, the things you need to win championship is facilities, a passionate fan base, administration that's locked in with the athletic program or your football program, and great leader at athletic director, and a great leader at president. We have all those things.
The thing that I also find that's so interesting is it's the Pac-12. Mm-hmm. Everybody's good. Mm-hmm. Even the bad are good in the Pac-12. So talking to your players, and Troy in particular was fascinating to me because he would not talk about himself. Mm-hmm. Like you try to get him to talk about himself and he doesn't want to do that. Mm-hmm. And he's like, hey, coach said that he needs 11. He doesn't need 22 or 50 or whatever. He needs 11 guys. Mm-hmm. How have you so quickly changed that mindset and put the focus on team? I know everybody says family or what have you. How have you put the focus on building team?
Well, we try not to use the word I as much as we can. We think it's something that when we talk about I, we try to talk about we and ours, us. We think it's something to that. When you start thinking that way and understanding that there's not one individual bigger than this football team, including myself. Whenever a guy get into that mindset where it's I did this, I that, we try to correct that as soon as possible. To let them know it's about the team. You can't get there by yourself. I can't get there by myself. It's going to take every single one of us to get there. We got to buy into the plan. We got to stick to it. And it's my job to set the vision and the plan, and then hold everyone accountable to doing their jobs and making sure we execute.
Talking to Willie Taggart from Oregon on the Monty Show, but it doesn't seem like the bounce should be that hard for you guys or far. The fall shouldn't be that far because you talk about facilities. What is the difference from recruiting at Western Kentucky and South Florida to recruiting at Oregon?
Facilities.
That's the whole deal.
That's the whole deal. Facilities and the resources. We had the resources to go places. The facilities are unbelievable. Second to none. The difference is you're in Oregon and not Florida. Yeah. At the University of South Florida, you can get on the bike and ride down the street and find about 5 or 6 BCS football players. Just riding down the street. So you didn't have to go far. But on the flip side, everybody in the country recruits down in Florida. So that made it tougher. So I think no matter where you're at, it's tough to recruit. Recruiting is about building relationships. So no matter where you're at, you got to build a relationship. You got to have a philosophy and something you believe in, and stick to it and continue to work to make it happen. But you got to do it every day.
What does it look like, before I let you go, Coach, what does it look like when you guys are playing really well? Let's start with your offense. First of all, why, and I say why, but what did you see on tape from Justin last year that makes you think that he's your guy at quarterback?
Kid's a winner. I love the way he competes. He competes his tail off. He beats losers. He can make every throw that's out there. And he's more athletic than you would think. A 6'5" kid. He can run really, really well.
He does look like a basketball player.
Oh yeah. I know. But he's a smart kid. He really understands how to play the game. But he's a guy that can do everything you have quarterback to do. He's accurate with it. He's efficient. He don't make a lot of bad mistakes. He only had 4 interceptions, 19 touchdowns, and that was impressive as well.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of weapons around him.
He got some weapons.
Why do you hesitate?
He got some weapons. I won't say a lot yet. He got some guys we're going to develop to be there. But
you guys are going to be able to run the football, it looks like, though.
Yeah, we better be able to run the football. We got to be able to do. We got some good running backs. I really like that, and I really like our offensive line.
Boy, I said a lot, and you almost fell out of your chair.
Yeah. We got to continue to recruit. To get a lot.
Yeah,
we don't have a lot yet, but we'll get there.
Well, nice to meet you. Congratulations.
Nice to meet you
man.
too. Thank you very much.
Really
and go
good
Ducks.
talking to you.
Yes, sir.
Go Ducks, he says. Willie Taggart, the head coach
Thanks, man.
at
I appreciate it.
Oregon.
Yes, sir. See you guys.